I've been able to sell $1 million every single year with this Amazon business. And today we're going to be talking about how to actually automate this business so you can have virtual assistants be able to find your products, buy your products, how you can have every system that's needed in order to sell this much pretty much automated. Okay, we're going to be sharing how to do that today, how I've been able to do it, and what I teach my students to do that work with me directly. So you can see this is my live dashboard. If I hit apply, it refreshes. Okay, this is an actual live dashboard, so you can see this is my sales. So let's get right into it. What's up? Welcome. It is Eric Cooper here, and today we're gonna be talking about the fifth piece of the puzzle. Okay, this is the final step of the free program that I've put out here for everyone in the free course, and this is gonna show you how to actually create an automated Amazon business that does over 7 figures a year. Okay, if you copy this exact structure that I use in my business today, you can have a business that does over 7 figures a year that is pretty much semi-automated. Okay, I spend about 1 to 2 hours a week, not a day, a week on my business. Okay, so if you guys want to have a business that works for you, where you're not a slave to it, okay, this is how you do it. Okay, this will buy back your time. You can actually have the freedom that you want. You don't have to touch or see any of the products that you purchase. And this is what I've been doing for the past year with my Amazon business. So if you're excited to learn about this, I hope you are, because this is literally what I do in my business now. So you guys can learn and copy everything that I do. So there's 3 main pillars to scaling an Amazon business. We have products, capital, and time. Okay, so these are the 3 pillars that we need to sort out in order to get to that 1 million a year mark. Okay, once we've sorted these 3 pillars, we actually can scale to the numbers we want, whether it's 2, 3 million. Once we've got all of these things sorted, it's very easy to fix all of these issues. Okay, so now let's dive over here, and this is kind of what I've actually taught some of my students that are looking to scale up. Obviously, these are some of my numbers. This is what my business does. I've done over $2 million in sales. It's a pretty old screenshot. So, but yeah, this is pretty much how it's done. And I'm going to show you guys, and I'm going to actually break this down for you, so you guys actually see what to do, how to actually grow this business and scale it. Now, time here is at the top, okay? Because the time, once you kind of figure out, how you want to actually structure everything, you can really, erase time, okay? Like I said, I work on my business 1 to 2 hours a week. Obviously, the more or less is up to me if I choose, but you can set up a business where you don't actually have to spend really any time at all, just like me. But let's talk about products and capital, okay? Because these are the 2 drivers that you're going to want to actually have to pull in order to get to that 1 million a year mark. And we're going to go through everything here, line by line, how it's done, how my students are going to do this, and how you guys can do this as well. So let's talk about products. So you're going to need an inflow of products to actually purchase. So if you don't want to source and you don't want to actually have to go in stores, look at products, do all that stuff, you need an influx of products, and the only way to do that is by actually hiring a product sourcing virtual assistant, okay? I will also be showing you today how to hire a fully trained virtual assistant, how you can make them better, and the different strategies that I use to train my team, and I'm gonna be sharing that today on how to actually go ahead and train. But let's talk about the product sourcing VA. So a product sourcing virtual assistant is essentially going to help your business by sourcing you profitable products every single day. Without this, if you want to have an automated business, it won't work, right? You literally need someone to source you products, okay? If I don't source and I don't have my team source, how are we going to find any products to actually purchase, right? We need this step. So this is very easy. You can hire them for roughly $400 to $500 a month if you want to go this route. So I would say if you guys are going to go super aggressive and go for this route, even if you're someone who hasn't really sold yet, you need to have a good amount of capital. I would suggest probably at least maybe 5 to 10K in capital to go this route. That way you can scale up with this full system and not really have to worry about capital. We'll get into that as well. If you have less capital than that, but you still want to do this, I'll show you how you can do that. The product sourcing VA is going to get your leads done and have profitable products coming your way. Next, you need a product review system. So in order to stop yourself from purchasing just bad products, stop yourself from buying products that aren't going to sell, products that aren't making any money, you need a product review system. This is my product review system. I'm actually going to share this inside of that free community below this, the ICA free community. So go ahead, you can take that and utilize this. That way all the products that you're buying are not trash, okay? I don't want you guys buying bad products. So once you actually have someone sourcing you products and you actually have a review process, that way the products are going to buy have already been vetted, they're good. They tick all of these boxes, maybe they're not supplements, they're not beauty, 100 plus sales a month, $3 profit per unit, 25% ROI, or 20% ROI, $25 plus. It hits all the boxes, right? That's good. Now we have an ordering virtual assistant. So this is someone who's literally going to order the products for us. That way we never have to do any of the orders. We never have to check out. We never have to do any of that, okay? This VA can be the same here as the product sourcing VA, okay? It can be the same. It does not need to be two different VAs. Mine is two different VAs because I have two VAs that source and one VA that orders, but they could be the same person. You could have one sourcing VA and one ordering VA if you want to keep things cheap. You could do that as well. Now, let's talk capital. Okay, how do you scale this if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of money, but you do want to get aggressive and you do want to get to 7 figures a year very fast, and maybe you want to get out of your job, maybe you want more time for your kids, whatever it is, capital is going to be an issue that you might run into. Business funding. Business funding is pretty much the best way to actually get scaled up. So every person that I work with one-to-one actually gets access to my business funding partner. That way they can actually get approved for cards that are 50 to 100K in capital at a 0% APR. So if you need the actual capital to scale this business, 50 to 100K will definitely do you solid, right? Obviously having that much capital will be enough to scale, but not everyone has access to funding partners like I do. So if you don't have access to funding partners, you can also go for American Express. They have good options when it comes to approval. If you're above like a 600 credit score, usually American Express will approve you. Now, if you don't have a good credit score, you might not get a ton of limit, but you still will should always apply for this business funding simply because it's 0% APR for the first 12 months. So you're not gonna have to pay any interest on any of that, and that's very important while you're scaling. So I would recommend going for the American Express cards to get your business funding. The next thing would be loans, maybe lines of credit. That's going to be your next kind of options for actually getting the capital that you need. Also just selling stuff, okay? A lot of you have stuff that you probably don't use anymore that you could actually sell online and use that towards your business. You have to understand that you kind of have to lose some of that, especially my younger guys that got the PlayStations, the Xbox. Get rid of it, okay? You might as well, especially if you don't really use it, you might as well use that capital towards this business. But always definitely business funding is going to be the best. But if you can sell stuff, get loans, line of credits, that's how you're going to get the capital you need. You just need to make sure you're being smart once you start pulling out business funding and capital. Okay, so if you're not doing this with a little bit of guidance, obviously this is going to guide you too, but you definitely want to have a bit of guidance if you're going to be super aggressive with this. That would just be my advice for you guys. And the other thing is just having good cash flow. So, and this is why the product review system is so important too, because those will kind of go hand in hand with each other, right? The product review system and the cash flow, because if you have good cash flow, this is going to help with capital, right? Because you're getting your money back very fast. And so having that is important. You're going to be able to make sure you're getting good cash flow because the product system, the product review system is, making sure you're not actually buying any bad products. Okay. So make sure you use a product review system, right? That way, we got 100 plus sales per month, must be $3 profit per unit. That way we're actually getting good products. Once you kind of plug all those things together, you've got capital sorted, you've got a team sorted that's going to find you those products. The ordering VA is then going to go to order all of your products to a prep center. Okay. And this is again, someone who's going to basically prep and ship all of your products to Amazon's FBA warehouse for you. This way you never have to touch or see the products that you purchase. And it's scaling, right? I live in Canada, but sell all in the United States. So all of the sales I do is US currency, US dollars. You make way more money that way. And also I never have to touch or see the products that I buy. So I can travel if I want to. And that's where having that prep center is so important. And that's pretty much everything automated, right? So you don't have to find products. You don't have to purchase products. You don't have to prep products. You don't have to really do anything apart from, obviously certain admin stuff that you might want to do. but you can literally just teach your team how to do that. That's kind of what I've done, right? I'm starting to teach them how to reprice products, how to actually do all the admin tasks that might need to be done. And that's pretty much how you scale, right? That's how you're going to scale to that 100 mil, not 100 mil, 1 mil a year goal and really get there efficiently. So make sure you guys copy this system. This is exactly how my business is set up. I didn't hide anything here. This is literally exactly how you should scale your business if you want to grow to $1 million a year, okay? Remember, products, capital, time. Once we get all three of these things sorted, you can really get to any number here. I really do think that you could scale this business to $3 million a year, with a pretty much fully automated business. I really do think that's possible if you choose to do that. It depends on if you want to do that or not. Once you start making this much, you can start to deploy in other avenues, other businesses, and that's kind of what I've decided to do, which is why I didn't go too crazy, like go to 2 to 3 million a year. But you guys could always do that if you want. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That's pretty much exactly how you want to grow things. Let's talk about how to actually hire a virtual assistant, okay? So this right here is going to be kind of the job posting you're going to want to do. Always get your VAs on onlinejobs.ph. In my opinion, I think this is just the best way to go. It's the best way to get good talent. And then you guys can just kind of copy this script right here. The script itself doesn't matter too much, right? You know how to use Google Sheets, Keepa, Scan Profit, know what online arbitrage sourcing is, all that stuff. It's important. Your most important thing here is going to be these 3 questions, okay? Past experience, favorite category, and number 3. I'll tell you why number 3 is the most important, but these questions are important. I will say though, these questions aren't as important. Mainly you just put these questions in to see if your candidate is actually even reading your application, reading your, job posting and what you're looking for. That's the reason why you add these questions in. So if you see that no one's answering these, you can just ignore them. And that just kind of helps, get through all of the applicants, because you'll probably get like 40 applicants, right? So more than half won't even answer these questions, so you can immediately disqualify them. But this last question is so crucial because you're asking the virtual assistant to film a video. So what you're going to get from this is you're going to see how good their English is. You're asking them to tell you why they're a good fit. So you're going to see kind of, some previous experience. You're going to see if they know what they're talking about. They're not really just like reading directly off of a script, which some of them will be, but you can kind of tell. You'll be able to sniff out like who knows what they're talking about. And the other thing you get from this is the enthusiasm, right? So you guys can see I'm talking to you. I'm enthusiastic. I love this business. I love talking about it. And I love sharing some of this stuff with you guys. So it's exciting. But if you get a VA that's posting a video that says, hey, I would be a good fit because I trained for 7 years, right? Like that ain't no one's excited, right? They're not excited. They're not amped up to work for your company, okay? They're telling you exactly why they're not a good fit, okay? If they send a video like that. So that's why that video is so dang important. And it's literally like getting a mini interview with them without wasting your time in doing the full interview. So that is such an important piece of your puzzle here. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this. This is exactly how I hire all my VAs. And, I've actually placed over 50 plus VAs with different students and different people. So I've been able to use this strategy, and I know it works very well. And every VA we've gotten is extremely talented, and we even help train them even more to be even better. One little bonus that I'll actually give you guys. If you guys do go ahead and go down that hole of getting a VA, and you want to know kind of the best way to train them, Loom is a free screen recorder. You can film 5-minute videos for free. Use this to basically film videos for your VAs, basically going over their products, talking about some of the things you like, things you didn't like, what they could have done better. And that is the best way to train your team to become better, okay? That is single-handedly the best strategy. This is what I do for all of the VAs that I place, and it's an amazing way to do things. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just spilled all the beans there, but hopefully you guys got a ton of value. If you're someone who wants this system kind of implemented for you, or you want to work with me directly and have this kind of get more help with it, want to make sure you're doing everything right, you can apply below this video, and I can help you implement this system like I have with some of the other students that I work with one-on-one. With that being said, the other thing you guys can do, as always, make sure to attend my next live training. It's a full hour and a half, 2 hour session where I go over some more of this stuff, some of the ways to, find better products, stuff like that. And I do Q&As at the end, so you guys can always ask me questions and whatnot. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this full 5-series program course. Make sure you watch every single video, not just this one, okay? I know this is the fun one, but make sure you watch every single video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.